I knew our return to XANDRIA was inevitably coming, and you'll understand better why in terms of future developments. I won't share spoilers yet. I've teased things lightly, but you'll see. But I didn't think it'd be as broad as it's become, and yet here we are. But I think XANDRIA warrants that. Whether you happen to be looking at present day or, brief tease, past. Again, we're getting there. But in our journey back to the recesses of XANDRIA's developments, I figured it'd be kind of fun to return to some stellar standouts on their latest album, The Wonder Still Awaiting. A new era for XANDRIA, but one that I was introduced to a couple months ago. Remember the initiation journey if you took it with me? That was a fun ride, and part of me wishes I'd taken it in full. A courtesy I've given other European talents. Routinely, even though it used to be kind of an exception from time to time thing, but yeah. You step one foot into this world and immediately you're just transfixed, whatever group you look at, and especially over different types of metal genres. I've been a metalhead of many years, so obviously on genre focus there's an instant connection, but the application in European music specifically is just delightful. And symphonic metal, immediate favorite. I love anything orchestral. The interweaving with XANDRIA, naturally again a strong metal thread, and beautiful vocals in the era we're now in with Amba Vuvahies. I hope I'm pronouncing her name correctly, I apologize if not. I absolutely love this particular talent. Many re-listens have given The Wonder Still Awaiting. It's a fantastic album, and I figured before we dive deeper into XANDRIA in past efforts, it'd be fun to return to at least two stellar standouts, and I'll tell you why this one stood out to me in particular. And some of you can probably already guess if you've humored these numbers before. Maybe some of you came at, in fact, to Illusion Is Their Name in passing. There is a visualizer performance from Amber, I believe on the Napalm Records channel on YouTube, that you should watch. Now, I will tell you, I did debate how I wanted to go about this. So I wanted to feature the visualizer and have that be the introduction for each of this number, or the actual music piece. In the end, I chose the music because the vocalization video does not capture some of the subtleties and nuances with this number, in particular with the vocal performance or some of the background symphonic presences, and I wish it did, but it's okay. I'm not saying that video is bad at all. It's actually quite a rewarding experience. Again, I would recommend you go watch it. But if this is your first initiation to XANDRIA, and I hope for some of you it is, I would recommend, of course, you listen to this album fully now that I've heard it for myself. It's a great collection. Maybe, again, XANDRIA of different eras has different sounds. I can say that based on some exposure, and what we're getting to, I know. But this is my introduction to the XANDRIA world, and I quite liked it. German symphonic metal for any first initiates. I hope there are some of you, and that we're ready to enjoy work collaboratively. I think music is best enjoyed that way. And it is my hope that some of you are getting a fresh introduction of where I was a couple videos ago. But XANDRIA, whatever era you look at, again, I can't help but tease, I absolutely love them. The new era, though, had some real promise, and I figured we could have a fun time with reintroducing some numbers. I wish, again, I'd done that full album coverage, just in retrospect, but albeit I didn't, at least I'm picking the standouts. And Illusion Is Their Name, what a beautiful one. I mean, this one, actually, I'll save the reasons why for the next song, because it pertains more to that. But I've given this number a lot of re-listens personally. It's a favorite of mine. I wish I highlighted it before. And now I can give you my thoughts on it in case anybody was curious to, what'd you think about Illusion Is Their Name? Here you go. And if anybody is coming to this number on first appreciation, I hope this is a rewarding experience for you. And I would recommend, if you are pulled in by this, I think it'll be easy to be lured in, go humor the remainder of The Wonder Still Awaiting and XANDRIA for yourself. You will like them. I promise you. Common attribution of European talents, but XANDRIA in particular, I absolutely love this group. Again, whatever era we look at. Spoiler, light tease for later. But let's return to present era. And the cinematic presentation on Origin, again, symphonic metal, wide canvas, and XANDRIA in particular, atmospheric development, right? Mixture of tones, strings emphasis, symphonic metal, incredibly charming. And here we go. It's incredible. Leave it to the Greeks and the French. Amber's, I believe, both. She's incredible, though, isn't she? But she can hit like every extreme, can't she? We go from higher pitch or opera to melodic to screams, and then we intermix. One of my favorite vocalists within Europe. And the transitions too, again, back into the next verse, so phenomenally done. The choir touch. It's lighter on this one. Not bad though, right? It's such a contemporary lens, too. The rage in this number, incredibly potent, again, amplifies the message well. There's a real emotional sentimentality. To suppress the choir as well, again, to that deeper range. I get like Serenia vibes, it's really cool. Come to think of it, I don't think I've ever read the lyrics before in detail. It matches in theming with this album, generally speaking. Close adjacency to You Will Never Be Our God. And still has the wide berth of interpretation. It's quite an open song. Feels like that. That transition is just so phenomenal, isn't it? Here we go. For any of you initiate listeners, this just brings it all home. That's just showing off. Oh, I've missed covering this group. You know, I cover a wide field of artists here, and XANDRIA has been on the list for some time to return. This was a rather spontaneous decision, though. I mean, I'm probably the reason that view count, or maybe not, I'm not the only reason, but I've given a substantial number of rewatches to that independent vocal performance. It's a fun video. Again, I highly recommend you watch that post this. You get a connection with the artist, especially Amber as a singer. She's incredible, isn't she? Her range, and I know, again, there's quite a lot of discourse on XANDRIA and past eras, right? And I'm not one to rank things, and of course I want to be inclusive here and welcome any XANDRIA fan. Whether you happen to be like me and you were introduced on Initiation or in past era, there are so many talents that we have been graced by with XANDRIA that I do not necessarily want to seem like I'm weighing one over the other, right? Each is an incredible artist in their own feats. Amber, such a delicate balance to her voice. Again, it's a lighter touch with her melodic vocals, right? It's a little higher and gentle, but then again, I remember back where I was with Reborn, the first ever XANDRIA piece. And again, light reflection here. My first introduction was through her. She was the bridge that brought me into XANDRIA, other than some of your recommendations. And again, I catalog everyone you reference in my comment section, all you wonderful audience members who have helped me in terms of my independent venture into European metal. It's your recommendations that have done a lot of the driving. Though, in this case, Ombre came through for the Mortinia collab of the Hourglass. And again, with that piece, that resided more in a melodic territory, whereas XANDRIA numbers have plenty of variation, though I didn't know this. I just found of a time where she's got a great melodic application, her vocal inflection's a little higher, a little more delicate, but it's beautifully transfixing. And plus, Ombre's quite pretty. It's the Greek. It's clearly the Greek. Anyway. But then post that, I'm like, okay, I gotta witness XANDRIA. It was like a first impulse for me, and it was soon after witnessing Mortinia that I got right on the XANDRIA train with Reborn. And when you start the piece, what are you introduced to? The melodic. But then quickly it subverts to operatic vocals, scream vocals, or a growl, unclean, let's be inclusive to that. It's incredible. Her voice has so much dimension to it. And it's unsuspecting when you think at first, you're like, okay, I'm just in for this beautiful serenade of ballad vocals, but then you're like, wait, what? Illusion is their name. What a testament. I still remember the first time I witnessed this for myself. It was soon after I'd covered XANDRIA. I was actually on a local walk around town. I think it was in the summer season. When did I introduce myself to this band? Probably... I forget what month it was, but it was somewhere like spring or summer in that season or window of time. I was out in town. I was just walking around, and I went through a full album replay for myself of The Wonder Still Awaiting. And once Illusion is Their Name kicks off, you're immediately met with that vocal rise, and you're like, what? It's such a cool effect on entrance. But the song has such a beautiful essence to it. Again, like I said, in the symphonic application. Their particular command specifically, whether it be on the rougher side or in the melodic, their instrumentals are just so captivating, atmospheric, broad in reach, but that's what you see with symphonic metal. It's incredibly delightful. Just anything that, again, simulates an orchestral appearance with even the choir effects. Real Sirenia shades here, too, again, on the refined suppression of the choir into that lower balance on the vocal register. It's great, though, isn't it? I love how this number is constructed. It's one of my favorites, I think, on the record, specifically on the intro and that closure effect. Plus, again, like I said, on the nuances of this number and why I chose the instrumental specifically rather than the vocal performance. That end yell mixed in with the unclean, you don't notice that with the original video, and it's just such a nice element to take in on first initiation. If that was your first XANDRIA taste, I'm happy for you that perhaps it starts you down the route of European metal, and not only that, but more specifically XANDRIA. And we're going to take quite a deep dive here. Following after Illusion is Her Name. Such a wonderful experience, and again, quite contemporary. Mixes in nicely with the DNA of The Wonder Still Awaiting as an album. Again, a modern Fred Davis, and again, particular with this release, it is, I think, open to interpretation, but there is a clear social complement when you read into the lyrics and the intention, in particular, some of the narratives. Like, let's say, for example, as I said, You Will Never Be Our God, the earlier track, with the, again, different vantage points of how you can appreciate that number. But to go with the specific thread of invention from the artist's inspiration, the contemporary lens according to politics and the world we live in, you see a harmony with this one, don't you? And again, however you look at it, creative wording, though. I mean, now, I might come at it like I did with You Will Never Be Our God, and really any content I produce from a Christian lens, so I see it more so in the poetic, and again, on the symbolic, or if you interchange against some images, it's easy to affix the language in the song according to a symbolic veneer, which you get in the chorus sections. I mean, I see it immediately. We still wonder where home might have been. There's no sign of heaven. Later on, chaos rising worldwide, culture shifting backwards to different vantage points. I think we can all agree, however we look at it. We only have one more chance. Oh, we hope not. Truth is defined and replaced by cults. Feels like that today in some respects, doesn't it? Anyway, not to go down the, again, music is open to interpretation. I want to keep it as inclusive as possible to broad taste. I think the song permits that, even though there's clear destinations and inspirations as embodied by previous numbers on The Wonder Still Awaiting. Illusion is Her Name. A beautiful addition. I've loved it ever since my first appreciation of it, and I hope you did too. I try again to provide opportunities for fresh introductions. That's my hope with music, that we are enjoying work together, but maybe I'm pitching you some names that you have not yet investigated for yourself, but ones that you'll find to be rewarding listens and frequent replays. And with XANDRIA, this will prepare you for where we're about to go with this group, and it is quite a broad road. You'll understand why when we get there. I'll leave you in suspense. There's a clear end destination in mind, and I think the picture will become clear at that point of this is going to be a favorite journey of mine, I think, to take. What are your guys' thoughts? Again, I'm not going to spoil anything yet. With Illusion as their name. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it and your point of approach with XANDRIA. Longtime fan, initiate listener, what did you think of it? More to come. With respect to the Wonder Still Awaiting, I have one more number prepared to recognize. I'm looking forward to getting into that one as well. There are some particular standouts alongside that one and some other ones I previously recognized here with XANDRIA's credits. Illusion is their name for me, dominant one that I've never forgotten about since my first initiation. I think for some of you that will be an agreed testament. Thank you so much for watching this video. Before you bounce, feel free to drop a like and comment, subscribe to this channel with a ding on the bell, and share this video with your friends. And consider checking out the description here. There you'll find links to my other channels, as well as addresses to my other social media accounts and ways you can help support my work if you feel so inclined. May God bless you, and looking forward to when our paths cross again.